Previously on Trails of Survival. The second Desolation Stage began with Lotus leaving his platform and immediately making his way to Glass Sandwich's base, where he attacked and killed Glass right away. He then decided to hide inside of Glass's base for another surprise attack.
The base, Whiskey.
What's that?
When Glass realized that Lotus was inside his base, he opted to search for weapons instead of going back to his base. Eventually, he found a chest with weapons. And returned to his base to chase away anyone who may have been nearby. Not long after, though, he heads to Whiskey's base with the intention of killing her and stealing her items. However, upon realizing that there's no easy way to access it, he spends many hours trying to break in through force. And although he succeeded in killing Whiskey a few times when she came out to inspect the damage, breaking into it proved to be more challenging than he had originally anticipated.
Go one. Go again. What?
After finally breaking through the wall, unfortunately, he was met with a second layer of walls. Despite spending nearly the entire day attempting to breach Whiskey's walls, her base proved to be too difficult to infiltrate, and he eventually gave up and left the area after depleting his resources. At the challenge, for the first time ever, all 3 contestants decided to use perks, resulting in a total of 8 perks being used. However, it was Glass Sandwich who successfully made the run back and activated the switch, killing both Lotus and Whiskey simultaneously, and ultimately securing the win in this challenge.
Woo! Good job.
As a result, he chose Lotus to wear the Santa hat outfit for the next Desolation Stage.
Well, Whiskey probably won't be around, so of course I'm going to pick Lotus.
Are you sure? I like the
Yep.
Santa hat.
You
It was
like it
keeping me
now?
warm.
Whiskey will have permission to leave the confines of the wall, while Glass Sandwich will have God Mode activated at night. And Lotus can add 10 deaths to both Whiskey and Glass's total death count if he can manage to avoid getting killed and keep a low profile. If Whiskey decides to leave the Desolation Zone, Glass Sandwich has no choice but to hunt Lotus down in order to avoid receiving those 10 deaths. Let's see how it all unfolds right here, right now, only on Trails of Survival.
Cool, we can find food now.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Ooh. Are you doing work already, Glass?
Didn't have to.
What?
No, he died on his own.
How are you doing, class?
Good.
Have fun with Lotus.
I see he put himself in your base.
Did he?
Well, he's near it. He put a gyro in a chest on a roof. That's where I killed him. And I took it.
In a chest instead of a roof, you said?
He put a chest on top of a roof.
Oh. What? Are you scaring Lotus to kill himself?
I wasn't near him.
Oh. how's the hunt?
It's hard to find him. Where would I hide if I was Lotus? I'd probably hide in Whiskey's base. Am I right? If I was him, I'd probably hide in there.
You're destroying my property already?
Who said that?
I don't know. Remember, I gave you some loot. Doesn't mean that you have to go for my place, okay?
I have reason to believe you're harboring a suspect.
What? I'm outside the walls. How am I gonna do that? If he did, I didn't let him in.
Well, he got in and he was opening chests and there I heard him.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless that was you. But you've been outside. Found Lotus's little stash.
This is kind of fun, relaxing, just flying around, not having to worry that glass is gonna kill me.
He's hiding pretty good. Uh-oh, less than 2 hours until I get to Rampage.
Aren't you already doing that?
Yeah. It's funny, they're not even shooting at me this time.
Who isn't?
The turrets. Man, where is he?
Is somebody exploding?
Something did.
Yeah.
Something just blew up on its own.
It wasn't you?
No. Found a trap.
Lotus has been doing a pretty good job hiding, it seems like. I wonder if you're really not gonna get a single kill while being in God mode.
Where is he hiding?
So much digging.
Hello everybody, it's me, your host Beaver, bringing you the latest scores. In the Desolation Stage, we saw neither Whiskey nor Glass Sandwich manage to achieve 10 player kills each, which means they will both receive 10 deaths when they arrive on the challenge platform. Whiskey decided to keep her distance and leave the Desolation area to search for a supply chest, leaving only Lotus as the only option for Glass Sandwich to go after for those 10 kills. He did manage to get 1 kill on Lotus, but getting 9 more proved to be too much, as Lotus did a great job staying low-key and not allowing himself to be found. Whiskey most likely concluded that achieving 10 player kills was next to impossible, and didn't want to risk her own death. Therefore, she just chose to accept the 10 deaths alongside Glass Sandwich. Now, remember everybody, because Lotus played the Anvil perk on the Challenge 9 platform, Whiskey and Glass are both eliminated when they reach 75 deaths instead of the usual 100. And with only 1 challenge and 1 Desolation Stage left, I doubt this will have any impact. The Blood Bag perk that Lotus used against Glass and Whiskey is undoubtedly effective, but it is clearly intended for scenarios involving more than 3 players. And if Glass Sandwich had more opponents to pursue, achieving 10 player kills would have been much easier. However, as we just witnessed, with only 1 player to chase, it became nearly impossible. But of course, given this is an experimental season, it provided us with the opportunity to observe potential uses of this perk and speculate on how outcomes might differ with a larger player pool. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, this upcoming challenge represents the final opportunity to utilize any remaining perks. So get ready, folks. It's time to turn up the heat. The final challenge is about to commence, and I'm excited to bring you all the action. I'll see you at challenge number 10. As the players make their way up the platform and get ready for the challenge, I'll quickly remind everybody that first and foremost, there are 10 deaths awaiting both Glass and Whiskey. Lotus utilized the Blood Bag perk on Challenge 9. That perk made it so that Whiskey and Glass had to both achieve 10 player kills in the previous Desolation Stage, or else they'd face a grave fate. In the end, this was too difficult to accomplish, and as a result of their failure, they will now face the consequences, which means being killed 10 times each by the admin. Following this, though, the challenge will proceed as usual. Whiskey will be first.
Stop the killing.
No.
Wait,
I've seen.
I say to stop the killing?
I pointed a gun at his head.
And now, it's Glass Sandwich's turn.
Yeah, this is my lucky day. Maybe. See if I live.
Glass, I think you should stop stepping on that platform or that cylinder. You keep on dying there.
Just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity, isn't it? I don't know.
And that was the last death on Glass. With that out of the way, though, let's get into it. Okay, everybody, bedrolls have been placed, and let's get on with the challenge. For this challenge, the players will be given motorcycles, and they will have to make their way outside of the Desolation Zone walls. Once outside the walls, they will race to the first checkpoint, which is the Challenge 1 platform. The only clue provided by the admin is Challenge 1. They'll have to figure out on their own how to get there, either by remembering the location or trying to figure it out using their maps. After reaching the Challenge 1 platform, they proceed to their respective doors and enter their unique passwords, which were provided to them by the admin. Upon entry, there will be a sign with the clue and passcodes for the next checkpoint, which will end up being the Challenge 8 platform. Some checkpoints will also feature an additional clue in the middle, while the passcode to access the next checkpoint room will always be provided at the bottom. Furthermore, each checkpoint room will house a chest containing supplies, and these chests will also require a passcode to open, which is the same code used for the door. Once they have everything they need, our contestants will proceed to the Challenge 8 platform, and here again, they'll use their new code acquired from the previous platform to unlock the door. Upon entry, they'll discover the clue and passcode to access the next checkpoint room located at the Challenge 5 platform, and additionally, they will encounter a new chest containing supplies. Once more, relying on their memory or their maps, they must determine the location of the Challenge 5 platform and navigate there. Upon arrival, they'll find their next checkpoint clue, passcode, and of course, a chest with supplies. Their next checkpoint will be the pyramid. From there, the pyramid will send them to Challenge 2. And from there, our players will be taken to the final checkpoint, returning to the Challenge 10 platform from within the Desolation Zone walls. However, in this Challenge 2 checkpoint, the chest will contain the usual supplies, along with a unique item tailored for each player. For Whiskey, the unique item is the luggage. For Glass Sandwich, the unique item is the washing machine. And for Lotus, the unique item is the coffee maker. After acquiring their unique item, they'll proceed back inside the Desolation Zone walls and directly to the Challenge 10 platform. Once on the platform, they'll take their unique item and place it on the cylinder with the winner sign. The player who places their unique item on the cylinder first wins the challenge. Now, before we begin the challenge, this is the final opportunity for Whiskey and Glass to use any of their remaining perks. So let's take a look and see what happens.
So for Challenge 10, I'm going to be playing my football helmet, which gives me access to the web map to see where you nice people are.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. My first perk, it's going to be the nerdy glasses. Shortens the curfew for one player of my choice by 3 in-game hours. The chosen player must be on their curfew platform during this 3 hours and is not allowed to leave. Takes effect on the game stage following the challenge. And I choose Glass.
Oh, how does this work though? So you can kill him on his platform? Is that what happens?
Well, you have to be on your curfew platform and stay there for the last 3 hours of the next stage. And
that's a good one.
yeah. And
Ooh.
I would like to use the TV, which gives all players a disadvantage for the challenge. Takes effect immediately upon use.
And here we have it, team, the final perks of the game. As the players prepare and begin setting up, I'll provide a brief explanation of the perks and then we'll commence with the challenge. First up, we saw Glass Sandwich use the football helmet, and this perk will grant him access to the web map during the final Desolation Stage. Now, in episode 1, we saw Whiskey using the baseball bat perk, which granted all players in the game access to the web map. However, the football helmet exclusively grants web map access only to Glass, making the football helmet a more advantageous perk than the baseball bat. And as a result, Glass will have the ability to locate the others during the final stage. That may end up being very handy, but we'll see what happens. Following that, we saw Whiskey play the nerdy glasses and selected Glass Sandwich as its target. This perk essentially renders Glass Sandwich vulnerable during the final Desolation Stage, and he will be compelled to remain on his curfew platform for the last 3 in-game hours of the stage, from 2 a.m. until 5 a.m., leaving him extremely exposed and vulnerable. And this presents an incredible opportunity for Whiskey to potentially turn the game around. Currently, she only has 6 more deaths than him, so this perk might be the refresh that Whiskey needs. Both she and Lotus could potentially collaborate and target Glass, leaving him with nowhere to retreat and forcing him to defend himself. With Glass effectively becoming a sitting duck for 3 hours, the stakes are higher than ever, and the outcome of this strategic maneuver could dramatically alter the course of this game. This perk introduces a unique dynamic. I am absolutely eager to see how either of these two players navigate the situation. However, being a sitting duck for 3 hours will undoubtedly be challenging for Glass. Lastly, Whiskey also played the TV perk, which gives all other players, Glass and Lotus, a disadvantage for this challenge. As you may have already guessed from seeing the players set up for the challenge, their disadvantage is that both Lotus and Glass will receive bicycles instead of motorcycles, providing Whiskey with a favorable opportunity to put some major distance between her and the other two. With all that out of the way though, it's time to get this challenge started. Alrighty everybody, this is what we've been waiting for, our final challenge. All of our players are waiting for the countdown. I'm not too sure what Glass Sandwich is doing though. And they're off.
I'll go backwards.
Now, interestingly enough, it appears that Glass Sandwich is deciding to ride down the road backwards. He is confident, but he does appear to be going significantly slower. I'm not sure if this is a great idea.
It's going slow.
Meanwhile, Whiskey is speeding ahead on the motorcycle.
I'm out of here.
And Lotus is chugging along on the bike. Now, here's the thing to keep in mind. They all still have God mode enabled, but it's going to be removed shortly. The admin wants to make sure they're all outside of the walls before this happens. With everyone outside now, God mode has been removed. Meanwhile, checking back in with Whiskey, it appears that Whiskey has decided to revisit the chest that she placed during the previous Desolation Stage, when she was outside of the walls. I'm not exactly sure why, because right now she is falling behind. Any advantage she would have gained because of the motorcycle has pretty much dissipated. Once Lotus and Glass Sandwich make it to Challenge 1, there will be motorcycles waiting for them at their chests. Starting with Lotus in the desert. Looks like he's being chased by a little bird, and he did not take that personally. Another thing to note about this challenge is that in real life time, this took hours to complete. So we're going to be skipping through a lot of the riding around. Now, Whiskey is deciding to equip some armor and grab some other items here. It kind of feels like Whiskey has wasted her biggest asset at the very beginning of the round. But maybe this will play out differently. Who knows? We'll just have to wait, watch, and see. Now, Lotus is heading in the complete wrong direction, while Whiskey is still preoccupied with her chest. I have no idea what's happening here. Interestingly enough, Whiskey seems to decide to swap away from the motorcycle to a truck, which isn't any much faster. But take a look at this actually. Wait a second. Looks like Whiskey has managed to acquire a gyrocopter. This is a massive advantage. She will be able to catch up to Glass and Lotus in no time. So maybe this is the long-term strategy she was looking for. It seems that the challenge taking place outside of these walls is working to her advantage. Up the gravel hill he goes, on to the challenge. Looks like he is the first to arrive. All she has to do now is catch up to Glass Sandwich, who at this point is deciding to place a bedroll, placing it down on the platform, and is about to start the obstacle course. If you guys remember this one, this was a difficult challenge. This cost all 3 of our players a lot of lives. While Glass Sandwich is continuing the challenge, Whiskey is getting closer in the gyrocopter. It seems like Glass Sandwich has actually done a pretty decent job of navigating this with extreme ease. He's made it nearly to the very end. Only one jump to go. Looks like all of that practice he had in the original challenge has caught up with him. It's paying off here. And he makes the last jump with no problem. Now I'm also just remembering this too. I think Whiskey remembered what Challenge 1 was and decided that she didn't want to deal with the entire obstacle course. Is it possible she plans on flying over to the other end to just pick up her item and then fly off again? We'll have to wait and see. Glass Sandwich has made it to the end and is inputting his code. On the other side of the door is a sign. It reads Challenge 8, 2.4 kilometers to the northeast, with Glass's unique code. Whiskey has landed, but she hasn't gone to the other end. It looks like she landed on the side that makes her still have to go through the obstacle course. Meanwhile, Glass Sandwich opens up the crate and takes all of his items. Here we go again with Whiskey. It looks like she's hopping back in the gyrocopter. Almost had a bit of an accident there with the tree, in fact, too, but looks like she is finally flying over to the right side. Coming in for a landing, Glass Sandwich is still nearby too, so this could be dangerous. Glass Sandwich is here, taking a look at his map, trying to figure out where this platform and where this challenge could be at. It's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. I should also mention that we, as the viewers, know all of the checkpoints, but the players don't. They have to visit each checkpoint in the correct order and cannot skip any, as they won't know the passcode to open their door. They have to complete all of their checkpoints in the right sequence. With this said, Glass now has all the information he needs to make his way to the next checkpoint, and he'll have to recall what Challenge 8 was and then figure out where it could be located in the world to go there. Throughout Trails of Survival, they had opportunities to mark important locations on their maps. If they had marked challenge locations in the past, they would have a huge advantage right now. Meanwhile, Whiskey's still flying around, still trying to properly land on the platform. I'm a little worried because Glass Sandwich has a gun and could easily take some shots off at Whiskey. And in fact, that is exactly what it appears is about to happen, as Glass Sandwich gets off the platform to run back to the doors. But maybe not. Maybe Whiskey already knows that Glass is there and is trying to just get him to leave at this point. What a dive bomb there from Whiskey. Oh my goodness. Nearly crashed into a tree right there as well.
Pretty sure Glass is stalling.
This is a bit of a stressful situation, I think, for both players. Oh, there we go. Some shots off from Glass right there, directly towards Whiskey's helicopter.
What? Thought you couldn't shoot if somebody was on a vehicle.
Just trucks.
Really?
Did I get you?
Maybe.
Looks like that may have scared off Whiskey. She's exiting the gyrocopter.
You'll never know.
Will this be an opportunity for Whiskey to make some moves? Glass Sandwich, meanwhile, hopping back into his room and shutting the door. Is he going to do what I think he's going to do? Checking back in with Lotus here. He is going the complete wrong direction, it seems. But through some sheer immense amount of luck, it appears Lotus has found himself a gyrocopter. This is another huge advantage, so now Whiskey is not the only one with a helicopter. This could be amazing for Lotus, and this could put him back in the race. Interestingly enough, this gyrocopter is actually his own from a previous game stage where he crash landed here and died. His backpack is also still here too, so this is incredibly lucky for Lotus. Perhaps this was his strategy after all. In fact, it's almost too lucky. Was this his strategy all along? Meanwhile, checking back in on the Challenge 1 area, Glass Sandwich is still hiding in the room waiting for Whiskey to arrive, and Whiskey is pulling up in the helicopter. I believe Whiskey still knows that Glass Sandwich is hiding somewhere on that platform, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. It's very likely that Glass Sandwich really wants to get his hands on that gyrocopter. It is an immense time saver and so important for a challenge like this one. Looks like Lotus was about to take off, but yep, look at that. He noticed his packback right before he was about to lift off. So he's going to be taking all of those items, and that is pretty big. Good for you, Lotus. Now, something interesting to note here is that Whiskey has not placed down any bedrolls, so if she were to die here, she will not only lose the gyrocopter, but she will also respawn all the way back at the Challenge 10 platform, inside the Desolation Zone walls. Glass Sandwich steps out of his room and aims his gun, but doesn't take a shot. Has he had enough of waiting? Is he deciding to move on with the challenge now? Or is this all another bit of elaborate bait for Whiskey? Let's see. Whiskey pulling back up in the gyrocopter. Some shots shooting off here.
You staying there forever, Glass?
No, I'm going right now.
It seems like Glass Sandwich is trying to decide, is it worth the fight? Is it worth to just leave? What is the best strategy here? And it looks like he's going to continue on with his day and try to get back to his bedroll. Meanwhile, Lotus is in the gyrocopter, still flying around and trying to find the platform. Here we see Glass Sandwich going up the obstacle course again, and we can remember just how difficult and painful this challenge was. You can tell he's being very careful with his jumps.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Whiskey taking a bit of a rough landing there, losing a lot of health in fact too. She really needs to be careful here. Without a bedroll placed down, she is in serious risk of dropping out of this challenge. Meanwhile, Glass Sandwich has made it all the way back and is looking to place down his motorcycle. Seems like he's getting out of here. Healed back up to full, Whiskey is in the air once again and looking to land on that platform so she can get her items and the clue. Glass Sandwich is leaving the Challenge 1 area. Lotus still flying in the air.
Isn't it way south?
It seems like he's still pretty lost.
Yeah. Come on down.
Whiskey trying to get on the platform again, looking like it's just a really tough time with that landing here. It is a very small platform, all things considered. There's not a lot of room for the gyrocopter, but still.
I made it!
Finally, the landing is complete and Whiskey is on the platform. Opening up her door. Inside, she'll find the next clue along with her unique code and a bunch of items. Now, right now, Glass Sandwich is in the lead, but Whiskey has an opportunity here to turn things around with her gyrocopter. If she can get to the next challenge area first, then Glass Sandwich will drop into second place. Meanwhile, it appears Lotus has returned to the desert area. Whiskey is studying her map, attempting to recall details about Challenge 8 to determine its location. It's important to note, Challenge 8 is located in the snow biome. Glass already knows this and is heading in the right direction. It looks like Glass Sandwich has arrived at the Challenge 8 location, but he's slowing down a bit. It almost seems like he's uncertain. Glass Sandwich still sitting here though, waiting outside of the location, not going inside. I'm really not sure what exactly is happening. Placing down the gyrocopter, it looks like Whiskey is gonna try to get out of here. Will Whiskey be able to catch up in time? Here we go. Whiskey about to take off in the direction of Challenge 8, but oh no!
No!
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Looks like Whiskey had a bit of a mishap there and has fallen out of the gyrocopter, resulting in another death. This is devastating because she did not place a bedroll down. This is what we were talking about a moment ago and why this was so risky. So with that, she spawns back on the Challenge 10 platform.
If we forget codes, I can't remember a number.
Then you're gonna have to guess it. There's only 9.
Because I left.
There's
now-
9 numbers.
9 numbers?
Yes, you said you forgot 1 number, so it's only 9.
Oh, I meant
You
digits. Digits.
You forgot 1 digit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Ugh. It looks like we may have figured out what the issue is after all. Glass Sandwich did not remember the code to get into his door. What a shame. Unfortunately, the admin's not going to be cutting him any slack here. and he's gonna have to go back to get the correct code. Whiskey is heading to her base in the middle of the challenge. She might have another gyrocopter, but I doubt it. Now, her gyrocopter is still going to be there at the Challenge 1 platform, but it's such a shame. She's gonna lose so much time here. We'll see if Whiskey's able to catch back up.
I don't know. I'll go back.
She doesn't have another gyrocopter, opting to go with the motorcycle. Now, Glass is being forced to go back to the Challenge 1 platform, which means all players are still kind of even at this point. Even Lotus has an opportunity as he flies around in the open air to catch back up here and make serious progress. So it seems like Whiskey's accidental death here was not as catastrophic as it appears. As Glass Sandwich and Whiskey charge down to the Challenge 1 platform again, Lotus is finally taking a look at his map and is trying to survey the area and figure out exactly where it was. You can see right there in the highlighted area where the platform is compared to his location. Looks like Glass Sandwich has arrived back at the Challenge 1 location, and Whiskey is charging down the road on a mission to arrive back to. But here's the most interesting thing. If Whiskey is not able to get there in time, Glass Sandwich could actually not only get his code, but also steal her gyrocopter. Uh-oh, looks like Glass Sandwich is taking a bit of a hit there on the obstacle course.
Oh, Eureka, I actually found it.
Meanwhile, Lotus appears to have finally figured out exactly where the Challenge 1 platform is located. And Whiskey has also just arrived. Whiskey just took Glass Sandwich's motorcycle. Knowing that Glass Sandwich is still here, she pulls out a sniper rifle. This could be very interesting. This is where tables could turn. Glass Sandwich arrives back at the door and, of course, as I suspected, takes the gyrocopter and gets his code.
I am so glad I forgot this number.
Hopefully this time he remembers it. All the while, Lotus is hopping back in the helicopter, and it seems he's finally on his way to the Challenge 1 platform. Glass Sandwich places down Whiskey's gyrocopter and is trying to take off. Looks like he's trying to take off, but Whiskey, it seems like, might be aware. She's trying to scout ahead with the sniper rifle in hand, and Glass Sandwich is just struggling here with the takeoff. Will he have to go all the way back to the other platform to place it down properly? We'll have to wait and see. Lotus is now in the area. Glass Sandwich knows that he's going to be attacked by both of them, so he needs to move quick. While all of this is going on, nearly all 3 players in the exact same spot. This could be very interesting. Glass Sandwich is desperately trying to figure something out here. What is his best move? What is the best strategy? Meanwhile, Whiskey has the sniper rifle on him, locked and ready to go. It's just a matter of time. He places a bedroll and goes for a final takeoff. This is a real desperation move. We'll have to see what happens here. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Glass died?
I know. I tried something stupid.
Does he have a bedroll, though? That's
Oh, do I?
Does he?
I think I do.
Glass Sandwich taken out. Looks like that landing, he did not have anywhere enough speed as he needed. And at this point, I think that gyrocopter is as good as gone. He's gonna have to go all the way back through the obstacle course to try and get his motorcycle. But I don't think he realizes that Whiskey already took it. In fact, Whiskey is waiting with a sniper rifle ready to take him out. Look at that shot.
Oh, no.
Good job.
Wow, what a snipe. Good job there, Whiskey. Glass Sandwich goes down again.
Dang, Whiskey, nice one. Look at her. She's going for the win, Glass. You better watch out.
That concludes part 1 of episode 10, ending at an absolutely crucial moment with Whiskey securing an impressive kill on Glass Sandwich. It's unfortunate that that kill came at the cost of Whiskey losing her gyrocopter. Because of this though, at least she won't have to waste her time going back for the gyrocopter. She can just hop back on her motorcycle and continue on to the next challenge platform, as she already knows where she needs to go to get to the next checkpoint. That is, as long as she remembers her code. And because of that last kill on Glass Sandwich, we can now see on the scoreboard that she is only 5 deaths ahead of him. If she can manage to avoid dying for the rest of the challenge, she will have a great opportunity to get 5 kills on him in the grand finale, the final Desolation Stage, where Glass Sandwich will be a sitting duck on his curfew platform. But unfortunately, we'll have to wait for part 2, where we'll be finishing the rest of the challenge and see how the finale unfolds. And from the scoreboard, we can also see that she still has 3 perks at her disposal, which sadly are now unusable. These perks could have potentially aided the other players as well, but she opted not to use them for potentially strategic reasons. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, that's gonna do it here for part 1 of episode 10 of Trails of Survival. I bid you farewell for now, but I'll be seeing you all in part 2 for the conclusion of Challenge 10 and the grand finale. I'm your host, Beaver, and as always, thank you very much for watching.